Welcome into Sports Center. We're counting down to the NBA draft on ESPN tonight. Pistons have their sights set on Cade Cunningham at number 1. But it's who is in the Lakers' sights that has the NBA world talking.
Jay, we had 17 draft day trades last year. None bigger than the one that is materializing right now. Oh, hey, Woj bomb on draft night. The Lakers are nearing a deal with the Wizards to acquire Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a 2021 first-round pick. Sources tell our Adrian Wojnarowski what a power shift of Russell Westbrook potentially joining LeBron James out in L.A. As we now bring in Woj. She's joining us now from Brooklyn as we prepare for tonight's draft. Woj, what else can you tell us about this Laker deal for Westbrook?
Well, this has been a conversation, I'm told, that has gone back and forth for a period of time now, and that the two sides now feel like they are nearing a possible deal that would deliver Russell Westbrook to the Lakers. Now, the Lakers had continued and had been talking also simultaneously about a deal that would have brought them Buddy Hield from Sacramento for some of the parts that are in this proposed Wizards trade. Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell opted into his contract for next season earlier today, I was told, and that allows him to be included in these trades. I think Sacramento would still like to be aggressive in trying to get that deal complete. But I think for Washington, the chance to get some salary cap flexibility moving forward with Bradley Beal, bring back KCP, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, some solid veteran players, another first-round pick in this year's draft, and then see if they can try to re-sign Bradley Beal and then be able to go out in the marketplace and try to get a big free agent in the future. But right now, Washington and L.A. are trying to complete this deal.
Unbelievable. Russell Westbrook was already the first MVP to be traded in consecutive seasons, so he's just adding now 3 straight seasons of an MVP being traded. Really unbelievable there. What other teams are engaged in trade talks among the top of the draft?
Well, certainly Philadelphia continues to try to find a new home for Ben Simmons. They're asking for a lot. Their asking price is steep. Simmons has 4 years left on his deal. They don't have to do a deal here at the draft. They're certainly prepared to take this into free.
In that same report, Mark Spears said that this could be a potential deal that would bring none other than the triple-double machine, Russell Westbrook, to Los Angeles. Los Angeles gets Westbrook. The Wizards get Schroeder on a sign and trade, Kyle Kuzma, and THT. Jalen, if I'm the Wizards, I'm not even picking up the phone on this one. What do you think about this potential deal?
I've seen a lot of people try to have turbulence as it relates to the name and game of one Russell Westbrook. And I just seen the big O in Milwaukee sitting courtside with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he broke the big O's triple-double record. Don't get it confused, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this from the dribble. If you can get Russell Westbrook, you do it. You figure everything else out. So now let me insert him into the Lakers team, okay? And by the way, if you're the Wizards, you don't do this.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you want to keep Bradley Beal happy first and foremost. But hypothetically, let me just say for those who think that it may not work with Russ and LeBron. LeBron ain't playing 48 minutes. He ain't playing 82 games, and neither is Anthony Davis. So therefore, you're going to need somebody that can put up enormous numbers and be extremely productive when they're off the floor in particular. And the other thing, play with pace. Russell constantly is going to continue to push the tempo, which is best for Anthony Davis's game. Again, like you, if I'm the Wizards, I'm hesitant to do it because I want to keep Bradley Beal happy, but I want to go deeper into something you said. I don't want you to underestimate Dennis Schroeder and Kyle Kuzma and the potential of THT if your only goal for the Wizards is to build out your roster around Bradley Beal and invest in what you're trying to do up front. And so again, if I don't see this happening the way it's being projected, but don't solely dismiss the 3 players that the Wizards would get.
That's a good point. I guess if I'm the Wizards GM, the first call I'm making after I hang up the phone with the Lakers is to Bradley Beal and saying, what do you think about this? You know, because you want to keep Bradley Beal happy, as you said, because if I'm the Wizards, I'm doing everything I can to keep that talent in the capital. Jalen Rose, starting to get to the end of the summer. And you know what that means, football.
Or there's also been talks of Washington Wizards star Russell Westbrook being a potential candidate to move back home to Los Angeles. I think he's from Long Beach in a sign and trade deal per Mark Spears. So my question to you, Perk, who should the Lakers target, Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook?
Well, you know what? With all due respect, Molly, to CP3, you got to go with the Brody. I'm going with Russell Westbrook. We're talking about a guy that is still in his prime. We're talking about a guy that's one of the most polarizing guys in this league. We saw what he did the second half of the season last season, putting up monster triple-doubles when the Wizards were 1,500 games down from being a 500 team. He carried that team and willed them to the playoffs. Now, it didn't go well because he didn't have the personnel, but you put the Brody back home. It takes pressure off LeBron James, who's getting up in age, going into year 19, and now you have Russell Westbrook, a guy that you could pair with Anthony Davis, a guy that's going to take pressure off of them, a guy that doesn't get enough credit for making others around him better. We're talking about a guy that led the league in assists for three times throughout his career. He led the league this year, right? Russell Westbrook is a guy that can also play off the ball. I know that he can't knock down shots like people want him to, but one thing Russell Westbrook is good at, very good at, is slashing to the basket. He's good at getting out in transition. So if I'm the Lakers, I would really consider targeting Russell Westbrook over CP3.
Perk, I know he the Brody, man, but sometimes he can't hit the ocean if he was in a boat, right? And what the Lakers need is spacing. Why do they need spacing? Because LeBron is a guy who likes to drive, and also he's going to be driving in transition to where Anthony Davis occupies that real estate. So I want somebody like CP3 that can come down and facilitate, that can take the pressure off, much like Rondo did a couple of seasons ago when they won the championship. It was Rondo's basketball acumen, his ability to get guys lined up in the right place. And I'm not saying that Russell can't do that, but every once in a while when they're sloughing off and they're trying to double Davis or double LeBron when he decides going to block, I want somebody that can be confident, can knock down the three and not start a fast break on the other end, man, because he's building bricks with his house.
Well, look, first of all, boy, look, let me tell you this. All right, see, people get caught up in the moment, and people tend to forget that Russell Westbrook is a guy that has been to the NBA Finals. Russell Westbrook is a guy that has been to multiple conference finals. Russell Westbrook is battle-tested. Russell Westbrook knows what it takes. I played with Russell Westbrook. I watched him elevate in those moments. Hell, I even watched him give CP3 that work and beat him when he was going against the Los Angeles Clippers. So look, we all know that the Brody, his weakness is what? Shooting the mid-range, and we said that about Giannis. His weakness is what? Shooting the jump shot, shooting the free throws. But guess what? Giannis proved us all wrong. And when you have that Mamba mentality, which Kobe Bryant only blessed a few with, Giannis was one, Russell Westbrook was another. He blessed them with that because they will to win and not to stop competing, no matter what the circumstances are.
No, I appreciate that. And listen, you can't go wrong with either one. I think either one that they can get shipped Kuzma off somewhere, I think is a plus, right? But I think that Chris Paul just gives them a little bit more what they need, a floor general, somebody that can understand the temperature of the game, know when to be aggressive, know how to get in the lane, but also know how to do the little things. And, we're splitting hairs when we're talking about them. Just for my purpose, I think the difference is the fact that I have a little bit more faith in CP3 and being able to hit open shots and spread the court and open everything up. Because the Lakers, when they lost Danny Green, they lost shooters, right? They lost the ability to spread the court and everybody can pack the defense in. And LeBron is streaky at times as well. So when he's not out there, that gives you another floor general that can get them in their proper sets.
Berg, let me ask you this. I know the Lakers did try to get CP3 before. If you're Chris Paul, what would you want to do? Would you stay in Phoenix, or want to go to LA with LeBron?
Well, if I'm CP3, I want to go to LA. Molly, I'm about to turn 37, right? CP3 is about to turn 37. And we all know he wants to top off his career with winning the championship. And you have to put yourself in the best position possible to do that. What is that? Go and team up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, especially the way that the West is looking right now. The West is wide open. You have Klay Thompson coming back for the Golden State Warriors, but he's coming off an ACL injury and an Achilles tear. I'm not saying he's not going to be Klay. You look at the Utah Jazz. We saw what happened to them this season. The Clippers sent them home, and Kawhi got hurt in the middle of the series. We look at the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't expect Kawhi to be back. So if I'm CP3, I'm looking at it and I'm like, LeBron James is going to come back healthy. We know that. We know Anthony Davis is going to come back on a mission. We know that he didn't like how he finished the season off. And when we look at what they done in the bubble, if you're CP3, you like, you know what? I don't need to be a first option guy. I don't need to be a second option guy, but I can be a third option guy, a guy that could come in with the second unit and control the offense and get mine off. But when need be, I could attack. But when I'm on the floor with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I could be that third option guy and take some pressure off myself.
Mm-hmm. Do the Lakers need CP3 for you to pick them as the favorite? Like right now, would you go Warriors out of the West, or would you take the Lakers even without Chris Paul?
You know what, Molly? Look, I'm going to go with the Lakers, right? I'm going to go with Lakers without Chris Paul just because, you know, Anthony Davis and LeBron James healthy are just so dominant. And we witnessed that a year ago in the bubble. We watched what they were capable of doing. LeBron James, averaged a 29-point triple-double. Anthony Davis was putting up Shaq-type numbers. When they're healthy, those two are unguardable, and they can lead that franchise to another championship. Now, if you add CP3, yeah, they're my favorites. I'm not going to go against them. And I know Steph is on the other side of California along with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, but I just can't go against that dynamic duo.
Bart, who you got meeting in the finals? Because obviously this year a lot of injuries got in the way.
Well, it was something weird that happened, right? Vegas picked Golden State to be fourth for the odds. And I'm asking myself, Vegas always knows something. I don't know who's the basketball equivalent of Worldwide West right now, but I tell you what, they know something. And I said this a long time ago that I thought it would be a great story for Dame Dollar to go back home to Oakland, because I just don't think Portland, matches up with his timeline for his greatness. He's in his 8th year, and you can't take anything for granted. Perk told me yesterday that one of the biggest regrets that Kevin Garnett told him is that he didn't come and find his way to Boston earlier because he felt like he was too loyal to an organization that wasn't loyal to him, that wasn't willing to push the chips in the middle of the table. I think right now, if you think what Dame Dollar, Clay would look, and they have all the ammunition to go out there and make that move, they can give up the 7th overall pick. They can give up Wiggins. They can give up Wiseman. And I think they can make the money match. I think Dame Dollar, the Golden State, is going to put the whole league on. I mean, where are they pulling up from? The logo.
Can that actually happen, Perk?
I believe it can. Why can't it happen? Anything's possible. Golden State's willing to pay the luxury tax. They got money, Molly.
It can happen, Molly. It can. Yeah. I mean, when you look at if Dame wants out, right, and if Portland decides to do right by Dame, right, this is a guy that has carried that organization for 9 years, and he say, hey, I want to go back home to the Bay Area. I want to go to Golden State. Well, Golden State has the assets, and they also have the capital. You could get rid of Andrew Wiggins' contract. You could get rid of Wiseman. They got two lottery picks that they could shuffle in the mix. So you could get back you could get back a lot if you're the Portland Trail Blazers from the Golden State Warriors and giving up Damian Lillard.
West could get even more interesting. I like that thought experiment. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. CP3 became the first player to lose 4 best-of-7 series